So it's a dual-edged sword.
Yeah.
I actually like that saying that they have: US creates, China sitting on gold mines. You just need to leverage the power of
I started floating to every Panwadi. If you will go to Panwadi, they will give you data. I started floating in India, but there is an ethical part of it.
everyone. I'm Garvit Gupta. I'm a consulting chief data and analytics officer. I provide.
Hello, welcome to Datapedia, to our new episode. With Datapedia, I have one of very renowned guest on our channel again, Ms. Garvit, and pleased to welcome you here. She is a renowned CDO, known and very well known in the industry, awarded one of a pioneer woman in data, which we know, which very less you will find it in this industry. So, welcome Garvit ma'am over here. So, you'd want to speak something about yourself, please?
Thank you so much, Shivesh. You've been very warm in the welcome. Hello, everyone. I'm Garvit Gupta. I'm a consulting chief data and analytics officer. I provide advisory services now. Traditionally, I have been more than 2 decades into the industry as a seasoned chief data and analytics officer, a data strategist, a data practitioner, and the kind of names that you can talk about. For me, I've been an award-winning CDO. I have worked with major MNCs like Accenture, Cognizant, Capgemini, IBM, and even TCS. By profession, I have been an engineer. I'm a pass out from REC Allahabad, one of the renowned colleges in India, and I'm also an INSEAD France alumnus as an executive leader from there. And of course, across the industry, I have actually done and delivered and spearheaded engagements to success, growing clients' revenue by almost 3x to 5x times, having revenues generated across 35 million plus, and for clients ranging right from financial services to telecom to BFSI, and of course, the retail, pharma, life sciences, and last but not the least, utilities, and of course, CHT and CMT, which is the telecom industry. I specialize in actually transforming clients towards business growth driven by data, leveraging the power of analytics, and of course moving to the whole meandering way of AI. And traditionally moving from a BI to an AI, and not, who knows, we might move to a CI and DI. So, coming from...
So, AI is the new jargon we should use everywhere now.
Yes, it's not a jargon situation. In fact, I actually strongly recommend, because I think all of us, like I would say, typically in an industry, when you legalize something, you always feel more empowered. And I think AI is the legal thing for you to get empowered. I always tell data owners or business owners that you're sitting on gold mines. You just need to leverage the power of data and move towards it. So I think AI is our weapon to do it. Like in Hindi, we say, ek brahmastra hai, aur hame use karna chahiye. So I would say that yes, it is the way to go forward, and in every section you'll find it.
So the word which is going around is it will hit us on our jobs. How do you feel it?
Okay.
That's the talk of the town, right? People like you and me always get impacted. It will come, it will cut our jobs. Though we are telling is artificial intelligence, but there is an intelligence quotient around it, right? Is it as good as a human? Or is it, how is the industry going to leverage it around?
I'll ask the question in a different way. When computers came, did it actually trim off the jobs, or did it generate more jobs?
Very rightly said.
When visualization came, when reporting was turned into visualization and the jazz of the world, did it trim jobs or did it generate more jobs? When data management came as a strategy, did it generate more jobs or cut the jobs? I always feel whenever new technology comes, it is about using and leveraging that technology and basically being literate about how to use it. So I always strongly embrace that while you talk about all the new technologies of the world, always build your foundation. Make your organization data literate, embrace the change, and then you'll be able to fire all guns with the new technology. So I'm standing against the point that it will take away our jobs. I think it will generate more jobs. It will make our coming generation more prompt, more, it will be more faster for them in terms of generating the outputs. And more importantly, if people are becoming responsible, that's why we say responsible AI, it will definitely hit the guns in terms of generating more revenue for the clients.
No, that's very well said. I am very well aligned with the word you used there, right? That it is not going to take your job, but it will augment and it will help you to do that, right? Because you as a skill needs to be used more. Your brain needs to go one step above because you have got something which is going to assist you on that, right? So AI will always going to transform, and the major part of AI I am seeing with current business, it is actually solving business problems, right? So if you will see the businesses which used to work, the way of the work is now changing, right? We saw a wave of data which is still there. I don't think we are still have been that mature or organizations are leveraging that. But even when AI has come into picture, your data is also very, very important now. So
Yeah.
would want to understand your thought around how data plays a very, very important role augmenting AI and
See, there is a traditional paradigm shift. Okay, people are now understanding. When I say people, I mean business owners, organizations, or
right.
even when you come from a compliance perspective, talk about any organization which is handling a lot of sensitive data. In all the directions, it's very, very important to kind of embrace data now. People are understanding that data is no more a good to have thing, or data management, or data architecture, or having a single platform of truth, or even generating the best of the visualization, or basically being accustomed to story tell about data. It's no more a kind of good to have thing, it's a must have thing. Most importantly, you can actually make data as your strategic asset. That is itself going and resting in people's minds. They are understanding that data is no more just a foundation,
Foundation.
it's a value driver, it's a monetizable asset, and most importantly, it's something that people can actually harness the potential for. So that's why I think as more and more people are understanding it, more and more this wave of AI, the wave of data management is growing. It's a tsunami, but a good tsunami, because it's a trimmed tsunami.
Right,
We can
right,
manage it
right.
with technologies. And I think that's where the whole general trend of the industry is moving.
Right.
Embrace data as a value driver, as a monetizable asset, rather than keeping it just as a foundation.
Right. So I know you have been involved with a lot of clients in your past, right? You are currently interacting with a lot of leaderships in your capability and your capacity. You are speaking to a lot of customers now, assisting them with their use cases. So what do you think is running on their mind, specifically the CDO community which is running there, right? I feel this new word which we are using, CDO, is playing a very important role for the businesses now, right?
Yes, yes.
People realized it, but they realized it late that in any enterprise business, there should be someone who should hold the data at centralized position, because there are so many sources, there are so many systems spread across, right? If in your organization you want your data, right, you have to speak to this, you have to speak to that, they have their political instances and all, and you do not have things centralized. A general reporting takes so much of time. So until unless you have a CDO placed in your organization which centrally brings all the departments together, get holds of the data, and then augment that to the right person with right access. And also CDO plays a very important role. I know you have been a part of the CDO community. So what is the use case running? What is the trend running? Are they taking data, the layer before AI, seriously, or is it just that the buzzword is AI? Let's go because the money is floating in AI. The finance is giving money for AI, so we should go and solve certain business use cases of AI. So are they transforming it in a layer? They are thinking of data very seriously now, or they are just jumping the gun and going AI and then fail later and they say, oh no, this is again some big data jargon which used to be the word before.
See, Shivesh, if I kind of consider who a CDO is,
Yeah, yeah.
a chief data officer is a successful chief data officer only if he or she becomes the bridge between technology and business.
Well said.
Okay, the
Yes.
main success of a CDO office lies in the fact that you are able to embrace technologies, but at the same time, you're able to bring in the business needs into the genetics of the organization. And that's where a CDO is supposed to position himself or herself. You need to think your success is my success. You cannot think of CDO as a position, just a mere ladder to being a CIO. People traditionally think, and
Yeah.
that's where they think that it's an additional layer. I'll directly think of a
Is
CIO
it
office.
confusing business now? CIO, CDO, CMOs, and all lot
It
of.
isn't. It isn't. It why it's confusing, because of the dearth of data literacy. If people understand that data is separate than all the things that otherwise lie in a CIO office. CIO office can consist of services management, enterprise architecture. You have your, of course, this entire CDO office running there. You have so many other things running there
Correct.
as a part of your CIO office. Your cloud, your mobility, and everything. But which is the pivot? Which is the real harness or the fulcrum that will drive you towards analyzing this is something that you need for your organization,
Correct.
and this is something that you need to embark on, but also how to embark on. When I go typically to a lot of clients, the first thing they tell me is, Garvit, I have a lot of data, I don't know what to do with it. It's as simple as that. I have so many data sources, I don't know what to do with it. They're just on my face. I have so many reports, it's traditionally so wrong. I have this whole dearth of issues where people keep on talking about that compliance needs to be done, compliance needs to be done, but I don't know where to start on. Where do I really pick up my battle? Where do I pick up the baton to run the
Right,
marathon?
the fundamental
Yes,
fundamental is the wrong.
is
They jump on the problem, right? They don't
exactly,
solve it logically, right? So
absolutely.
when compliances comes, and that's a very important part, why I see a data platform is a must for every organization. One part is compliances, that plays very, very important part, right? Until unless, because people, that's an Indian market thing though, but other across geographies also I have seen, until unless something comes with a hammer sitting near you, say, okay, this will hit you hard, this is
Yes,
going to bring a financial trouble for you, people
yes,
do not realize the value, right?
you
So
don't.
it is something on the mind currently that a lot of geographies have started using or have start putting compliances and all into picture. India also have recently launched the DPDP, right? It is for public consultation, open for public consultation, but I think it will come very soon. We have seen a very recent surge in Middle East,
Yes, yes.
specifically Saudi. The PDPL law in Saudi is just picking up very, very fast. In countries like Qatar, Oman, and all, it is picking very fast. We always knew about GDPR and all. So, how is the feel? Is it because of the compliances people take this part important, or they are understanding now? Ki, yeah, fundamentally your data should be right.
Okay, so it's a dual-edged sword.
Yeah.
I actually like that saying that they have: US creates,
Yes.
China replicates, and EU regulates.
Regulate.
Okay,
Yes.
so typically when you look at our maybe 5 years
So what does
back,
India do?
India embraces
Yeah,
and India just puts it into action when it's just around the corner and
right.
you have to do it.
Right.
So yeah, that's the fourth notch to the
No, no,
whole
very
thing.
well said. Yes.
Yes, so I think where we typically have to embrace this entire piece of regulation is the fact that we have been into this whole arena of GDPR, CCPA, FOIPA, HIPAA,
HIPAA.
all these laws, ADHICS. There are a lot of laws across
Yes, yes,
geographies,
yes, of
but
course.
India law wasn't ever taken seriously because people used to be wired to this whole thing that PII data we don't have to care about. I mean, think about on WhatsApp how easily आप अपना आधार कार्ड उठा के भेज देते हो
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
किसी को. I mean, I don't think so. I'm one of those who herself have started attesting everything for this purpose only, because I know as a
हाँ
chief privacy officer, having played that role, I know how important it is. But where I'm talking about a dual-edged sword is, as the compliance piece is coming, it's on the head. One thing companies have realized, which is for good, they have to be 100% compliant, be what may. So that again, that paradigm shift of actually putting compliance into the action is something that good CIOs, good CEOs, or when I say good, people who are vigilant about it
right
are doing. So I would say compliance does play a trigger. it does allow people to understand that fear, because there's so many big cases, like cases of British Airways in EU, where a lot of penalty was given. Even if you look at the current DPDP Act of
Yeah,
India,
yeah.
it does play a lot of emphasis on breaches. It does play a lot of emphasis on data subjects right management. So, and it does play a lot of emphasis again on the consent management piece and the cross border, exchange of data. So all that has come from the trigger of compliance. But at the same time, why I again go back to the double-edged sword is because while this whole cloud is building, people have also started understanding that boss ye to nahi hoga jab tak data correct nahi hai. So they have they have understood that this needs to go on. We need to have the right foundation in place. So it's slowly building up in Indian scenario, but the way more of the MNCs are working across geography, it is just adding up to it, and I think it's a good I would say welcome note for both of us and for our whole data
No, no,
community.
that's why I was
Yeah.
very pleased, though it is वो बोलते हैं ना देर आए लेकिन दुरुस्त
दुरुस्त
आए.
आए, हाँ.
So it was a long due. I think people are talking about AI governance and all, and we are still into a fragmented world of seeing data and
Right.
bringing law around data, right? Which already a lot of geographies has already embarked on. Now that's a very true potential what you said. Now, little bit talking about governance, right? You have been a in your early days. I know you have been a quality and governance consultant also. So, how do you think for a businesses the quality and governance also plays a very, because why I'm asking is slowly because this AI is taking over, right? Initially there was whatever you say, right? Whatever the world has embarked on, like oil, people took, right? And slowly we used it, and the humanity and all. Today we are talking about sustainability and all, reducing pollution and all. It has
ESG.
polluted ESG strategies and
ESG,
all.
yes.
We have to understand that that oil was discovered by us only. We never put a governance around, or we never thought or forward our thought in that process that it is going to pollute at certain time, that your existence can be a problem. Then came data, and we told, okay, data is the new oil now. And then data started floating to every Panwadi. If you will go to Panwadi, they will give you data. अच्छा आपको ये चाहिए ये ले लीजिए and all. So it
Yeah.
started floating in India because people started using the potential, but they never thought there is an ethical part of it concerned around it. Now, if you start now, AI is picking up, right? AI is now slowly, and we are also putting a lot of efforts. Every business is putting effort. So, how do you think now, before it becomes a real problem for us to govern, we should from now only start attaching that governance part to our AI also, right? So, how does quality and governance play as a platform in your data journey and in your AI journey?
Yes, I think it's a wonderful question. That's one of the areas which is very, very dear to my heart,
Yeah.
because one of the classical problems that we have faced in the data governance space is the fact that people used to consider data governance as a fuzzy point. They weren't touch and feel to this whole thing unless they saw quality improvement in the data consistency, completeness, accuracy, all that. When it used to come over a period of 6-8 months, when the first results used to start hitting, people used to feel, yes, there is something, it is good to be there. Yeah, I have my reports, it might just help. So that's where data quality used to take precedence over all the other things in the big data governance wagon wheel. Like ownership used to be something that people used to think about. Okay, ownership, stewardship is the next in line. Then maybe we'll do policies, we'll do processes, and then they used to come back. Now, if you just try to do a root cause analysis of it, where what's the problem? The problem was just on the amount of time and the effort that used to really go behind establishing or setting up the data governance office or
Right.
the DGO,
Right.
because it used to be so much manual. If for every data stewardship assignment, or even understanding to the level of data ownership, you used to write down traditionally the roles and responsibilities. Then you used to really go ahead and design and basically have interviews and then decide, and then they used to hold this big battle where people used to come, no, I don't know, sales owns this data, no,
The
finance owns
control
data,
of the data,
control,
right?
oh no, HR owns this data, I don't have
Yeah,
anything to
yeah,
do
yeah,
with it.
yeah,
The
yeah.
moment you started to show them that quality needs to be fixed, they'll all go off the bat. Oh, I don't own this data. So I think that is where AI actually is playing the role. And that is where, I think it will be a big game changer, because the effort itself in doing data cleansing, to analyze things, to predict what it is, and actually doing the whole sort of jobs and responsibilities and the policies processes, AI will just take them in a jiffy.
Right. A simple use case can be profiling your data, right?
Absolutely, you're
When you are
bang on.
putting rules over your data, you know
Correct.
that your data is of this particular scenario, and you have to profile it. You have to put a quality rules around.
Yes.
AI can help you. You do
Yes.
not have to go write quality rules, understand quality rules, talk to business, bring those rules over here. You can first of all go to AI, get all the understanding which is there, put those there, then do your profiling, then go to
Exactly.
business. See, I have already, your accuracy is already at this level, I need your intervention a little bit.
Correct. And every business will like it, right? If
Yeah,
you
yeah.
walk into a meeting and just tell them, give them the business rules. So we never did that. We always went with some basic info. But think about yourself as a leader who's running this big factory of data governance, analysts and data quality analysts, and you want to really implement something for the client in a big shot. You suddenly get this tool again, which is able to profile your data, which is able to understand the rules in one go, predict the rules,
Yeah.
give you everything on the plate. Imagine the cut short of the time that you'll
Time.
achieve. So, and you very, what we say as data confidence, you will be confident that what it has achieved is actually right.
Yeah,
So
it was embarrassing for the businesses, or you will see the stakeholders also, right? When you were bringing them in workshop, making them sit one together, and you were saying your department data is very bad. They used to lose face and all, right? They
yes.
will not come up with that authority and that openness which you want, where you want actually a business or an enterprise to be successful. If you are able to bring them at a single table, solve all those maturity problem, all those quality problem, and then think of bringing them into a master data,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
It's so beautifully done, and this is all the places I see where AI use cases can be helpful in. How's your take around it?
In fact, you actually hit a very good point. Everything into one. I
Yes.
think, that single platform
Single
or
platform.
a single stop shop, which kind of brings together all these use cases, be it data architecture, be it cloud, be it ETL, be it master data management, data governance, data privacy, RBAC, data security. Think about the terms in the entire big wagon wheel that we have. This whole, we are all data practitioners. We work across all so
Yes.
many zones.
Yes.
That is where the beauty of having a single platform and AI running on top of it will be achieved. So my take on the story is that whenever you're trying to implement AI, of course you cannot implement everything big bang.
Right.
But once you have everything knotted down, you have everything tied together across a single platform, and you've achieved a certain set of maturity, then if you apply AI on top of it, then it will do wonders. And AI will also get inside each of the areas that you have and do your wonders. So you're achieving double the, saving of money, saving of cost, saving of all the effort that you want to do. So my take on this entire thing is, go for a single platform that can bring together into a single source of
All
truth,
those things.
and go for a solution that provides you end-to-end services, so that management of AI is equally, easy or seamless for you.
Yeah, wonderfully. If in a one sentence I'll put that, start small but think big,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes.
And if you have a platform which supports your data journey from start to end, see how beautiful your results can be. How well your organization can take the ownership and take that all the compliances and all other challenges, you will see your organization transformed, right? We talk about digital revolution, data revolution and all, but actually you will start seeing the changes now when all the things are tied together and kept it together. So yeah, there are wonderful tools which does that. Okay, so we have one platform which I really think is solving this problem. We are very closely working with Informatica also, and I see it is very beautifully placed over there, right? Where you start your data journey from ingesting the data till publishing, that entire layer, right? That means there might be tools which are solving one of these problems, and there might be good at certain things, bad at certain things, but at an enterprise level which solves everything, which will help you to start small and then pick something and build over it, right? So that's where I feel that we have done a lot of implementation currently with Informatica together, and it is really making certain changes. So how do you take this competitive market around data platforms which has been running? What is your take? How is the community thinking around it?
See, the community also depends a lot on the geography.
Yeah, yeah.
So some of the geographies are very price sensitive.
Right,
Like
right.
India is a very, very price
Of
sensitive
course.
market. And Informatica, if I go by the example that you sorted, Informatica, I think, is a diamond.
Yeah.
People love to own diamonds.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And people realize the value of diamonds once they wear it.
Coming from a
So,
lady, that sounds
yes, I love my
very
diamonds.
really.
So I would say that, it is why I recommend this kind of overall one platform is, while people may be initially very price sensitive and they may think about the cost, trust me, based on my more than 2 decades of experience, I've actually seen clients rolling back to Informatica after having initially picked up different other open source tools or single-handed tools across some of the areas. What I feel is a game changer for Informatica, and I've seen it like since so long. It's always been in the first quadrant of Gartner. It's been a thing that people have embraced despite its always higher thing.
Right.
Is the fact that Informatica always gives you holistic
Holistic view.
solutions. Okay, it will never try to just say that, and then you have the flexibility as well. So you can always pick up your particular services, and even in their new IDMC platform and their overall structured, this entire one-stop platform, they have provided solutions where you can actually purchase services for whatever you want to run, and then gradually go from there. Because I think one thing you will embrace as well, Shivesh, as a senior leader in data, is the fact that not every client is mature at the same level in the
Absolutely.
word go, right?
Absolutely.
And a successful CDO is the one who can drive the organization towards an area where you run your things gradually. You have to walk, you have to crawl literally, and then walk and then run. So for doing that, it's very important that you look to a platform that is also scalable in unison with the way you are achieving your maturity. So typically where I've seen organizations failing is they'll take up small little things in the start and they'll be like price sensitive. No, Garvit, I don't want this. I don't want that. Let me actually think about, I'm very cost sensitive, or I don't have this requirement right now. Typical answer.
So how do you place that, means how do you place a certain things and how do you make them understand at this critical negotiation point when you complete your data maturity test and all those things? How do you place it in between them?
So the way I function, I always tell them it is not something that you have to take in the word go at once. Okay, I give them a very one of the standard analogies. When you invest in a property, you always look at a property that makes you feel like a home, right? And more importantly, घर के लिए पैसे कभी नहीं होते, कभी नहीं होते हैं. You have to always build it, right? So I give them this analogy that if you're investing in a good property, it is a good one for you in long run.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, typically what you'll do, you'll start to have a smaller one room, then you'll try to build some other room. It just creates a lot of chaos.
Major problem you see, people does not want to invest upfront, right? उसके क्या, अब प्रॉपर्टी का एनालॉजी में देता हूँ. I bought a 1 BHK. मैं बैचलर था, मैंने 1 BHK ले लिया because my pocket was wanting that, but I could have afford a bigger one, right? But at certain stage of my life, I got stuck with it. What to do now with it, right? I need to sell it now again to get into a bigger house because my property. But I had a vision that I know that I will reach that stage where I had that, and if I would have bought it at right time, at right place, the inflation and the cost which I gave here was absolutely that what happens, right? You go price and all those things, you think very well. You should always think, you should negotiate and all this. But your end journey, where you want to reach, is it going to satisfied by that? Is what
Absolutely.
as a leader I think should come into mind, which I think specifically with geography currently we are into, or emerging geographies, is coming up. Will be there soon, but it will happen.
In fact, that is the reason why this maturity assessment
Yes,
exercises is
very,
so
very
important.
important.
Because it shows what you can achieve in a span of 1 year, 3 year, 5 year.
Just that's a very interesting topic, right? sorry to cut you off. That's a very important topic. So I want you to a little bit say more about the maturity framework also,
Okay.
right? What kind of path you take, what kind of assessment we do it, and maturity framework, all those things, right? Because we know, but just for the audiences to know that
Sure,
how do
sure.
we start your data journey.
Okay, sure. So typically when we start our data journey, when we are done with, maybe the first conversation and we know
Right.
the client has a problem or something, it is very important for you to first imbibe in their minds that before even starting to define their data strategy, it is important for you to understand where they stand, what's their business goal,
Right.
what's their vision, and that vision, how is it transforming over a span of, let's say, 5 years. Okay, then what we do, we typically look at that organization and we do a series of assessments.
Okay.
Assessments are in the form of surveys, and it's very, very simple to do. So we never bombard our clients with huge answers to write, because if I am a person, I'm a business owner, I'm handling like a big transformation of finance data, I will never be interested in writing out a lot of text.
Right.
So we make it very simple. It's as good as just clicking on a few numbers between a scale of 1 to 5, and you decide that what is their maturity. Before even going to the surveys, we decide on the top priority areas in the data management space, what you should prioritize. So typically it will be data architecture, data literacy, data culture, data ownership, governance, analytics, interoperability, very
And how
important.
you are fitting AI and all.
That's what. So
That's
next, another category is AI. So where the business vision is in terms of AI. Typically, when you go to an organization, they'll just have a vision
yeah.
or some kind of chat GPT or some kind of tools
Yeah,
that
yeah,
they
yeah,
must be
yeah,
using
yeah.
for some kind of documentation. So AI piece, we typically ask them. Then when we come down to the survey analysis from their key focus groups, we would do a kind of analysis of that survey. We will show them where they are with respect to maybe their competitors, just to show them that if they rise up this ladder, what's the competitor advantage that they give. And then we frame out a complete 1 year, 3 year, 5 year program for them, that this is how you'll do. And this 1 to 5 year journey is actually with a parallel flow of data literacy.
Okay.
Because while you're trying to get into the realms of doing things, it is very important for you to understand how to do things. So data literacy, culture change management, all that goes
So
as
just for
parallel.
everyone, maturity and literacy, right? These are two different things we are talking about, right?
Yes.
So just you can explain a little bit more around it just for the audience
Yeah,
side.
so just for the audience, data management, data architecture, and all the things that we talk about in terms of data, I would say maturity and data transformation of an
Yes.
organization would come under the maturity
Maturity
assessment
assessment.
areas, data
Yes.
areas, or priority areas. These areas will be aligned to your vision, to your business goals. So if I have a business goal of achieving an AI driven organization
Yes.
by
Yes.
2028, then I will have AI as one of my priority areas. If I have a business goal of having a data, single source of truth, a single platform, or a data cloud for all my different things, or maybe I have 10 different hybrid clouds, I want to put them into one cloud. So my data architecture and interoperability become an important priority area for you. So that is that assessment that we do across the different data areas that we have prioritized in alignment with your business goals.
Okay.
That is one part of the story, which is the bigger pivot.
Bigger.
The parallel pivot to it, which people think it's a small, but I consider it an equally heavy pivot, is the data literacy. It's the education that you give to an organization in terms of its employees, in terms of the people, that guys, you can work on a data cloud only if you understand that what a data cloud is. You can do a data analysis only if you understand what type of data exists.
Right.
You can do a self-serve BI only when you understand what data storytelling is. So you basically educate the folks in typically we do it in a 3 to 4 year journey.
Okay.
And we also encourage the organizations to basically certify their professionals on the data literacy side, that you are a DLP level 1, level 2, level 3. So we can build those things,
Right.
and we try to run these two programs in parallel. That's where the success comes. Otherwise, what will happen? You might run a big program and you might fizzle. Like I always say, data management and transformation is the genes of the organization. It should never be considered a program. It's not an engagement, it's the genes. So I rest my case on that.
No. That's that's very insightful.
Yeah.
Now there are a lot of organizations we do it. I'll just touch base on this, right? And you have been part of a lot of GSIs, a lot of big fours, and then there are companies like us, right, which we call ourselves boutique. We are very niche in a technology, in a particular focus area, and we want to go and solve a particular problem. For us, there is always a bigger charter. For bigger GSIs, it might be a logo, just logo, right? They just want logo and all those monies associated. They want to be there and all. But for specifically boutique firms like us, it becomes a thing of prestige. It things of we do two customers only, but that two customers should be successful. We want them to realize the value, because we as a consultant, right, I was speaking to you before, right, we want to place something which really adds value. We are going to sell something which is right for them. We are just not on the sake of things to achieve some target or something, right? We want to actually introduce to them something where they see the potential benefit of it. So how do you think this frame of companies like the bigger GSIs, the big fours, and then the beautiful boutique firms like us plays an important? So you have been speaking to a lot of businesses, right? So what is on their mind? How they pick companies around?
So now the entire shift of the world, be it any industry, be it any kind of organization, be it across any stream, is moving towards more nuclear way of working.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
it's no more a big bang approach. People don't want to invest in big time things in one go. They want to see the results and then go from there. And the advantage with boutique firms like you, I would say, you guys carry a very, I would say a very niche skill. You are specializing in data area.
Yes.
If you compare yourself to a GSI, talking, I won't take names, we all know who they are. They are across the zones.
Yes,
So
yes.
you go to them, it's like a mall. You go there, you can get everything. But are they selling the best quality products? The question needs to be answered. Whereas the advantage with what I see with boutique firms, number one, specialized skills. You hire people who are specialized into that
Yes.
area. You have your niche skills. You will provide solutions with that purpose. Second, personalized services. Whenever I have worked with boutique firms, I see a lot of connect with the folks, unlike GSIs where people will come to you, they'll showcase somebody else, and on the delivery there's somebody else.
Yes.
So that is when the SOW is signed, there's somebody else. Third thing which I see as a big advantage in the boutique firm side is the fact that you guys embrace your success and embrace your failures together. So you are tightly knitted to the client from the word go.
Right.
So it's not like a long duration and you slip the deadline and you'll be like, no, these are the reasons, and you start to play the blame game. It's not like that. You actually own up that and you try to fix things. So I think faster actions,
Yes.
specialized skills, personalized service, and of course, needless to say, the cost.
Yeah.
All these are factors that is actually moving a lot of business owners to exploring boutique firms rather than GSIs.
No, thank you for endorsing that. That's a great way of putting, and that really acknowledges our effort. One thing which we have been also doing very religiously now is to educate the student community also, the hiring community also. So what we are doing is we are going to colleges, we are introducing our programs at very early stage in the colleges, right? We are doing this. We are tying up with colleges now to literate them at right level. Like, there are a lot of cases, lot of courses around, but you have to put those in a certain structures and all. With the GSI's framework and all, you come out of colleges, whatever you want to learn, you have learned out in colleges, you will come to these GSIs, they will give you random skills. They'll put you into a Java course, they will give you into a .NET course, SQL query. And then when a project comes or a tool set is being sold, because now the world from a developer community has moved to a consultant community where you need to assist business faster. You need to derive value to business faster, because AI will solve problems for you. AI will write codes for you, right? As a skill labor, I will say, as a skill labor, you need to skill up. You need to have that value at early stage of life only, right? We were at that stage when we were in 90s, right? Because we were picking up, we were more of a back office. Now we are not a back office. We need to show value, right? So as a boutique firm, I feel, and we in our community as Data Info also, what we are doing is we are going to literate and we are training people very rigorously. We do not put, even we take freshers around, we ensure that we put effort on them. We put that in a proper data and AI program where we give them all those trainings, and most of our guys are well certified guys. We do not even place our 1 year. I still go and talk to customers and I challenge them that my 1 year guy is such certified that you go to a GSI, pick a 10 years guy, because that 10 years experience is there, but he has not worked on that skill. You are picking it up from some project, some GCC, and you are just putting it here because he came on bench. You want to put him. We don't do that. We train them. We know this guy is an skilled quality guy, worked on data quality, so I will put it there. I'll position it here. So that is how we frame this entire framework so that business can attach value to us. That is where we play an important, and that's where I think as a firm I feel I take this pride. I have worked in a lot of GSIs also, and I have been one of the candidate who was just randomly put into a training and then put into a certain projects which I never knew and was very struggling to understand. Then I was put it in a production support thing which I was very difficult to understand, right? All those things. So we need to change that community. We need to skill up, I guess, right? So that is where we are also investing, and I am very grateful that I am part of it and this community, and we are trying to solve all those problems. Because business now will want things faster. You have to add value faster.
In fact, you answered a very, or rather, you touched upon a very, very good topic. Business wants value. Why? Business is now much closer to the actual business
actual business.
than it was before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Business is now taking a hat of an IT.
Yeah.
And IT is also taking the hat of a business. And that's why the role of a CDO is so important.
Right.
Because business is no more aloof from deriving value. They want to see it end to end. They want to really go down to the depth and see what exactly happened.
राइट पहले एक बिजनेस होता था,
हाँ.
फिर बीच में एक आईटी आता था, उसी बिजनेस का एक आईटी है. देन
Correct.
देयर यूज्ड टू बी अ वेंडर कम्युनिटी.
करेक्ट. हाँ.
तो अभी वेंडर को अगर कुछ समझना है तो वो बिजनेस से बात नहीं कर रहा है. ही इज टॉकिंग टू दिस आईटी, एंड आईटी हैज देयर ओन एजेंडा, own things of driving it, own priorities set up, because we are dealing with humans, right? Three minds. So, and then this goes, now business is smart enough to understand that I do not need this layer. I need faster access to everything. That's where tool is picking up. You do not go in a platform or in a kind of code development and all those customization way, right? They want to test things faster, go to market faster, and see the value faster. So they will speak to you directly. They will bring a boutique firm who can really solve that problem, go and speak to them, get their problem solved in 3 months, come back and own that. So the tool should be intelligent. That's why I like this platform, IDMC platform, because it is very user intuitive also, right? A business user or business community can also understand a lot of things. And with AI coming now, the GPT is coming now,
Correct.
you can talk in natural language and can ask those queries which this IT was there.
Absolutely, absolutely. And in fact, that actually kind of stems very beautifully or dovetails very beautifully into this fact that why business needs to consider, or rather, how organizations need to consider data as the driving force.
Yeah.
Because it is no more lying in different sources.
Right.
You're bringing it to a common platform, you're bringing to a place where you can use it, where you can monetize it, where you can make it as your asset. And that's exactly the reason why this whole shift of AI is driving people crazy.
Right.
Because imagine the beauty when you have everything in one go and you have AI on top of it, you are actually doing a double, game fixing with half the effort that you would otherwise spend on this entire thing. So with less of effort, you're achieving much more. And that's exactly where business wants to go. See, when you are a business owner, what matters to you? Revenue, your growth, your protection from a compliance standpoint, and more importantly, you want your entire horizon or spectrum to be secure.
Right.
You want that, okay, whatever I do, I need to be having my competitive advantage. I need to be running my numbers. I need to be meeting my revenue targets. But at the same time, I also need to be compliant. That's what a first business owner would think even before thinking about AI. Now, what AI does is it's telling you, boss, I'll do all this for you in half the effort. And you'll be able to get the accurate results, and still you'll be able to run your show with the best of the things. You'll be able to wow your customer, you'll be able to wow your vendors, you'll be able to do a complete strategy, go to market strategy in no less time, and you're still the market leader.
Yeah.
What more can I ask for? So how do I do that? I combine my existing efforts with the advantages of AI, and that's how I drive it. Because a successful and a smart business owner is somebody who would leverage this technology, at the same time doesn't leave on the vision and goals, and then embraces the technologies and the entire space of growing one by one. And that's exactly where you and me were talking, that let's have a single platform that
Yeah.
will help you do all
Yeah,
of
yeah,
this.
of
So
course.
that's the trick.
And that's where you see in AI also, it is not about just generative AI. Now people are talking about agents.
Agentic AI, yes.
What is agent? It was basically, we used to do in my initial days, I used to do a lot of workflows, right? We used to do master data, and master data had to solve certain business problem. Then you bring workflow or the automated way of doing it, right? Now you have AI which can solve all those problems, but you need to, the business now do not want to work, right? They just want to, you have an SOP, you will guide your agents like this SOP, go follow it all, so that this is a repetitive work kind of managed services and all those things, right, can be automated. The value can be shown to them, and where your mind focuses is on bringing revenues. How do you bring more things together? How do you actually does the real groundwork of, and that will help us to grow only, right, in this fast moving, fast changing world. That is how we should go all along.
Absolutely. Offloading so much of an effort, it's just going to yield wonders. It
Right.
You can, you rightly pointed out, you can use that same energy into something that will definitely enhance the business more.
Business, yeah.
So the mindset that as a business owner, as a CEO or CO you're carrying, cannot be replaced by an AI. But what AI can help you do is all that work that you used to sit and do with your respective teams, and used to really spend your time trying to analyze, okay, this is my monthly annual report, this is my, if I have to go and look out for a an investment from a private equity, or if I have to go and look out for a merger or an acquisition, I used to spend time on my PNL and see what's my usable assets, what's
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
that I would say carry forward I'm taking from a previous PNLs and all of that. Now everything is like, I know, and more importantly, I know it's clear, it's accurate. That's also the confidence that you're getting. You can actually spend your efforts into something else. So that's why I said it will generate more jobs, it will generate more avenues or more potential opportunities of growth for data management community,
Right.
rather than cutting short the jobs.
Now, data management community, when you talked about, right, I want to specifically touch on a topic where you have been part and very actively involved. I know you have been part of Women in Data, a very, means I will find I really like to, means it is really insightful to talk to you, right, Garvit? Because we very rarely find women in this space. Tech space was very niche, but when coming to data and also, how do you think this community will further grow? What's your take on it? And being a serial CDO, right, coming to this ladder, being an woman, right, which I don't, I feel that you guys have the real power, or means I was hearing to Neeta Ambani very recently. She was doing a podcast or something. She told that uh, some lady was asking, "What do you think will change, and who will change it?" She told, "Women will change it." Exactly. That is where, because this new tech force, you see now the entire voter community also, right? People are behind. We need to get women vote, women vote. आज मैं जीता दिल्ली का vote because women were on their side. So how do you think this community also cohorted in our group and grows as the top leaders, right? How do you see that changes happening specifically in Indian market?
Yes, question very close to my heart, Shivesh. In fact, I always believe that behind every successful woman, there are many men. So it's not one man, it's many men. It could be your father,
Yeah.
a father who always believed that my daughter can do it, and you understand it better in an
Yeah.
Indian context.
Yes.
A husband who believed my wife is as good as me.
Yeah.
A child, a son who believed that my mama is a rock star.
Yeah, yeah.
A brother in law who believed that yes, you are equally good as any other person. And a boss who believed that she stands at merit as close as another person who's a male. So there are many men if you kind of look into this entire area. But besides being a woman, a successful women leader, I think women also support each other a lot.
Absolutely.
And I always believe one person should pull another person. So for me in my life, like I told you about all the men, women have been equally instrumental in making me a successful leader. Be it my two sisters, we are three sisters.
Okay.
So we never had a brother.
Okay.
But my father was an engineer, and he always, in fact, he used to always call us beta. He's never called us like a female kind of a thing. And he's always empowered us that you guys will rock it.
Yeah.
Okay. He always believed. My mom, despite being a housewife, always believed. She was the first woman who believed that yes, these women can make it. My elder sister, she's a leading IVF consultant and a gynecologist. She
What a
also
beautiful
believed
story.
that yes, I can do it.
Yes.
My little sisters will do it. My younger sister again is a serial, she's a communications manager, and she's again doing very well in her life. So all us three women believe that we can do it. And that's exactly the analogy I want to put in this data community. I think we women should be inspiration for other women to feel that yes, if she can do it, I can do it too. Whenever I talk to, people who are fresh out of college or women who are struggling, growing up the ladder, I always tell them it's time to just analyze in yourself. There's nothing wrong in you. It's just about the circumstances. You have to pave your way through the circumstances and have your voice. You might, I'm telling you, I've walked into a meeting with 20 men on the board, I being the single female, yet I had my voice. I could convince the customer something which the other men were not able to do it, because women as such bring a very fresh perspective.
Yes,
and I
of
think
course.
most of the organizations today are embracing that fresh perspective. We understand that things can be done into this area, and we stand by it. And it's not, don't stand by it just by the virtue of it.
Yeah.
We stand by it by the experience of it. We've done it on ground. So I think the way to grow this community of data practitioners is to actually encourage, inspire, and be mentors to the new women who are coming on board.
Absolutely.
And actually make them feel that yes, you can do it. There are people who have done it, and it's equally, if I kind of compare myself to another female who's maybe, a couple of years junior to me, she might be facing the same things which I faced in my career or in my personal life couple of years back when I had a baby, when I was young and I was trying to grow up the ladder. I also faced it, but somehow I managed it. So one thing I always tell women, followers of mine, guys or girls rather, never shun away from asking from help. From all these men and women ecosystem that you have around, just go ahead and ask for help. There's nothing wrong in doing it. If you are vulnerable at some point, it's absolutely normal. Normal, and just embrace that and go for it. And whenever somebody pushes you back, just be like what they call this toy, right? Which falls back. So I've been like that toy. Whenever I've fallen back, I've risen back with equal swift. Yeah. So that is how you'll have to do it.
No, you are a DEI champion also, right? Yes. If you can focus a little bit on that also. And
yes, I'm a diversity, equity and inclusion. It used to be diversity and equity before. Now it's diversity, equity and inclusion.
Yes.
Because when we talk about, the inclusion across the thing, as a woman leader, you not only have to support women, but you also have to support inclusivity, which includes other genders. It could be people not really equipped with all those privileges that you have. So as a leader, you need to give equal merit to all the people who are participating in it, irrespective of their gender, caste, creed, their financial capita income, or even the kind of background that they come from. So I think that is something that I always embrace. In my teams, I generally have like to have a good mix of folks. First, it generates very fresh ideas. Some person whom we think, from the look of it, like they say, don't judge a book by the cover. So sometimes this person, I had a very person who used to sit very quietly in the meetings, and then one day we were in a deliberation and we had to really submit an RFP, and we were not able to crack what is that we will win over. When I'm talking about my previous days, and what is that we can strike it. And suddenly this person comes up with a very very simple idea, yet so important. And I was like, yeah, that's something that I missed. And I was like, why did you speak up before? And he was like, I thought nobody would listen to me. So I always say, guys, no idea is a stupid idea. Go ahead and float it. Go ahead and speak up. And I think when you have this inclusion in your team, you will not only have the best of the ideas, you will also have the best of the implementation techniques. Think about inclusion. Think about versatility. Think about getting to a level of enrichment, and think of delivering success to your organization.
Wow. No, great. I'm really proud to be sitting with you now here and hearing such great thoughts, right? That really pours our heart out. Means what you are doing for the community is great, and specifically this community needs more leaders like you to come up and really solve all these complex problems, which are being considered men's problem and all those like body
Right.
flexing problems and all, but they do not understand that women always bring a very fresh perspective to it, right? And this is very well said, Garvit. Now, little bit I will come to when we are talking about all this. A small thought just stuck in my mind that we are talking about all these AI and all. Now, when I was thinking, we are still calling it artificial and then intelligence. Now, when we deal with human, or when it comes to human, you would have heard about IQ, and then there is an important part with human which is called EQ, the emotional quotient side of it. So, how do you think AI will be able to understand this emotional quotient of part of human also? I'm not telling that it will replace certain things, but will it be in us the certain time where it will start think, see for a human being also, right? If you will see the history and all around, we were not directly like this. We were also a part of certain journey, right? We learned, then people say we were animals, then we transformed into a kind of species which has understanding and all. We had this brain neural network and all. If you'll see, AI is following the same journey. It is coming from a certain way, then neural network around it, then now generative, then you are putting all those agentic AIs which can do jobs and all. Will it be certain point where EQ part will also play an important part with IQ? How will AI will shape that up? What is your thought around this?
Sure. I think the most important thing for all of us is to be responsible. You
Right.
know, responsible in everything that we do. Eventually, we are part of the community.
Right.
It is also about giving back to the community in a responsible way. Whenever we are using AI, we have this concept of responsible AI.
Right.
You cannot go berserk in all directions and start using AI left, right, and center. You have to understand how it is really needful for your organization and then place it. It's like an analogy I'll give, right? I have a very, very adorable husband. He's a successful entrepreneur himself.
Yes.
Yet he has always, pepped me up and kind of just pushed me to my limits and just go ahead and achieve. The difference is, if we only thought about money as the factor, and we just thought about we go left, right, and center and earn, we wouldn't have been able to build this relationship, which has been the foundation for us to be successful in our relationship till
Right.
this date. So it's the same analogy. You can use AI for just that, money generation, revenue generation, cutting out jobs, being less giving less efforts and doing all sorts of things. But if you're not responsible enough, it's not going to take you in the long run. So you have to really strike that balance of where to draw that line of using AI in your day-to-day systems, how to be responsible enough to do it, where exactly you have to drive your leadership, or rather be that leader that drives success using AI in a responsible way.
Right.
So it could be responsibility in your, the way you're trying to build your workforce. It could be responsibility in the way you basically perform in the market, beat your competitors and everything. End of the day, you're performing in the
Yeah.
market.
Yeah.
Your responsibility towards the community, your responsibility towards the geography, your responsibility towards the nation. A lot of things matter as you're trying to build this entire community. So I think always, as a data practitioner, I believe in responsible data management, responsible AI, responsible intelligence, and more importantly, responsible success. That's what will make you a leader in the long run. People will come back to work with you rather than, oh, she's a boss and I'm done with my work and
People,
I don't
people,
want to.
people don't leave company; they leave their boss.
Yes, yes. And people actually come back to their bosses to work
Yeah,
if you're a good
yeah,
boss.
yeah. No, no,
Trust me on that.
absolutely true.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, that's a very, 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 very beautiful thought. Yes.
Yeah.
No, that's a very beautiful thought, Garvit. I know that you have to leave early a little. I would rather have a complete session dedicated to women in data, and I would really like to host you in one that we'll try to have a roundtable discussions where we'll try to bring certain industry aspect and we'll bring that fresh perspective to our audiences also. So thanks for joining us, and I am from my heart, we are very glad to be associated with you and honored to be with you.
Thank you so much,
Just
Shivesh. It was a wonderful session. Honored to be a part of a discussion one to one with you, sipping coffee and having some very good conversations. I'm looking forward to the roundtable with you all,
right.
where I can even share my thoughts further of women in data. And like I always say, be responsible, be energetic, be compassionate, and most importantly, drive success through responsibility.
Thank you. So that was Garvit with us. We will come soon for the next episode for Datapedia. Thank you.